if you're like me, writing content and sharing your thoughts with the world feels really hard. But at the same time, whenever you are in a call with a friend or a client, it feels like your thoughts are flowing and you can articulate very clearly what you think and your opinions and your takes on different things. I was struggling with that for a long time until recently, where I finally created this workflow that I'm about to show you in this video that is completely a game changer. Now, every time I'm in a meeting, when I end the meeting, I receive in my mailbox 1 to 3 emails that contain each of them a post based on one of my ideas during the meeting and expand it with the context of the meeting to share it with the world, to create a post out of it. But I don't want to post only what AI created for me with my thoughts. I still want to make it my own, to add my own style. So when I receive the email, what you can see here, I can use this email and reply and modify the content, attach a file to it, and send it back to a specific email address that will trigger an automation that is going to post on all my different socials. For myself, it's Twitter and LinkedIn, but you can imagine being able to post everywhere. So basically, the workflow is you go on a meeting with a client, you talk, you sit on your computer, you receive the post, you choose the one you like and you want to post right now, and you can't avoid it. It's not like it's sitting somewhere in a database and you will forget it. No, it's in your inbox. So you have to look at it and decide whether or not you want to post it. If you want, just modify the content, send it to another email address, boom, it's on all your social. It's extremely fast. It's based on your thoughts. It's using the content, the writing style that you want, and I will show you how you define the writing style. And it is in the middle of one of the workflow that is the most used. It's sorting up your inbox. Everybody does that. I know I do it every morning. So I just have to look at it and decide whether or not I'm posting it. So now that I hope the workflow is clear, I'm going to show you how to do it. And here you will have everything. Basically, I will show you all the tools, all the accounts that you need to create it, and also I will show you, I have created a Notion file where you can access to the prompts I use, and as well as the blueprint for you to create the same automation. So you just have to copy and paste, and the automation can be created for you. All right. The first step is to use a meeting recording tool. And I personally use Tactic, which I think does the job. It's really good. I use it since a long time now, but you have other alternatives. The only thing that is required is that the alternatives are able to integrate either with Zapier or with make.com, or to send a webhook. If you don't know what's a webhook, please pause this video and go check it out on YouTube. There are plenty of videos about that. But it's very important. It's a concept that is very important to understand, to follow up with this video that you're about to watch. So as long as you're able to send the data somewhere, Zapier, Make, or webhook, from your meeting recording tool, it's fine. You can use whatever you want. But here I have Tactic. This is, if you click here, it's a very lame affiliate link where I get 1 AI credit, which is completely useless. But still, you can find the link here if you want to use it. Then it's Zapier. Why am I using Zapier here? It's because they don't have a direct integration with Make. So I have to use Zapier, unfortunately. But basically, there is absolutely nothing I do with it. If you look at this is my only zap in Zapier, is whenever I receive a transcript here from Tactic, I push the transcript, content, and the meeting title to a webhook. A webhook, again, is a way to transfer data from a tool to another. And if we look at the automation here, you can see that the webhook is actually the beginning of the actual automation that is going to create the content. So basically, every time I have a meeting, the transcript is pushed to Zapier that directly send it to the webhook. So I am in make.com and I receive the data, the title and the transcript from my meeting. Raw transcripts, not processed yet. Before I show you the automation, let me show you how you can access to the blueprint. So if you want to open it directly, so whenever you are on the Figma file that you can find in the description of this video, you have access to this Notion page where you can see the prompt that I'm about to show you. But more importantly, you have, so this the text prompt with, it's a text file in Markdown. If you want to modify it, it's easier. But here you have those two files are JSON files, which whenever you are on make.com, I will show you. If you, so scenario, if I want to create a new scenario in make.com, then I have the opportunity to import a blueprint. So I click here, and then I import the file that I showed you that you can download here. And then it will give you, I messed up. Yeah, so it will create for you the exact same scenario that you just have to modify with your own accesses. And the first thing it will ask you is to create a new webhook. So you just say, add a new webhook, whatever the name, okay, then you are in the scenario. Now, the next step of this automation, when we receive the data, is to transfer it to Claude API. Why Claude? Because to me, it's by far the best one to write whatever we want to write. I use GPT generally for data processing, specific technical things. But when it comes to writing and feels more human, I always use Claude. And in this case, the thing you will have to do is first, let's go back on the Figma file. So we talked about tactics, zapiermake.com. You need accounts with all of them. And you need to create an account on the Claude API. So when you click here, you will have to log in, and you can start with, I think it's $5 in credit, which is, it's everything you need for a lot of meeting transcription processing, basically. But if you want to use it more, then you have to put your credit card and to give it some credits so you can use it. You will also have your API key within the interface here that will be asked when you add your connection here in the Anthropic module. So once you are good, and you have like a documentation here that you can check if you don't know how to set it up. But once you are good, so that's the model I use. That's the last one from Claude, best one so far to me. Max token, this is, so just a quick thing here. Max token, it's about the conversion, the context window. You can, so a token is a piece of word, and basically it's like depending on the word, but it could be like a word can be 1, 2, 3 tokens. And natively, Claude can handle 200,000 tokens. So it's basically a book. So you can have a very, very long prompt with examples, with transcript, and it can be very, very long. But here, it's the max token for the output. So here you say, this is the length of the output I want you to write. And this is the maximum. That's why I use this number. Fortunately, we can do more, but that's enough already. Here, we create a message. So the role is user, it's us, and we say, okay, the text, it's a text message, and we simply say, here's the transcript to analyze. And we give here the data that we receive from the transcript. Here. But obviously, it doesn't know anything about us. That's why there is a system prompt. And in the system prompt is where all the thing that will make your post is. And what you see here is what you see here, but I put it here so it's easier for me to explain to you how it's structured. So your mission, you are an expert in thought leadership, content analyzer, and creator, asked to analyze meeting transcript from any context, blah, blah, blah. Now I put some information about me. I'm a growth marketing expert combining deep marketing expertise with practical automation skills. Awesome. That sounds really good. So now he knows what he has to do. He knows about me. Now analysis framework. Look for key moments that indicate valuable insight. Personal opinion starting with, I think, in my experience, what I found. Unique methodologies. Client reactions showing novelty or value. So when you talk with someone, if the person says, oh, that's very interesting, then okay, that's an insight. Industry observation, practical examples, problem-solving approaches that differ from common practices. Content value criteria. This is just a little bit of more information to select the right content. Content style guideline, same thing. Lead with a compelling hook. Present a common problem or misconception. Offer practical, actionable solutions. Include real example or case studies, and with a clear takeaway or call to action. Basically, we are in a. This is a very specific type of content. You can modify it if you like, but this is for thought leadership. And thought leadership is basically you talking about what you think. And this is exactly what it says. We are not here to show a method or to brag, or it's just like, okay, this is how I think things are done in my industry. That's why those content parameters exist. Now, very important, required output formats. So here's an example where I explain how I want the content to be processed, how I want the output. And what you see here is JSON. Same thing, if you don't know about JSON, you can check it out. But basically, it's the code that is used to transfer data from an API to another, from an automation to another. And what I say here is main idea. So I describe what I want, the current site and the title format, title format, max 100 characters. I want a short version of the prompt, maximum 280 characters. Must be a complete thought, not a teaser, because that's something you want to post as a standalone, and a long version of the prompt. And this time it's something that is way more expanded. And then I explain, okay, now I want the same thing, but for the second potential insight idea I want to talk about. And now I want the same thing for the third one. Additional instructions, match the writing style seen in the example the post provided, ensure all the content is actionable and practical. You can read it. Those are just more insight. Output rules, return the JSON only. Same thing, you can read it. There is no real value. What a value is, though, is here. Examples of good thought leadership posts. And for that, basically, I go ahead and from the people I follow that I like to read the content, and I would be happy to post something like that myself, then I just save the post along the way, and I keep a short list of interesting posts that I can always use as an example. There is nothing about copy because nothing from their post is transferred in my post. It's really about like the examples of structures of thinking that will be used for my post. So I have a long version, and here I say long version example 1. So I have 1, example 2, example 3, example 4, example 5. Here you can use your ones. You don't have to use my one. You can use the post that you like yourself. Then short version example 1, short version example 2, short version example 3. And that's it. That's everything that I have just shown you here is in the system prompt of the Claude API module. So now every time the transcript arrives here, it is processed through Claude API. And remember, I get the output, the JSON output back. So let me, no, it's here. Since it's very hard to have an AI making the data exactly how you want, then there is a second module, which the only goal is to process to make sure the structure of the data is good. So it's supposed to be good here, but I process it again here. So I'm sure that in the end, it goes the way I want. And the way I want is an array of collections that I can parse and I can iterate on. Honestly, you don't need to know about that. You have the scenario, you can just copy it. What's important is that you have all the connections. So you have your connection to the Cloud API. I didn't mention it, but you need, if you want to do that, you need a connection to OpenAI API, which you can find the link here. Same principle, you need to create it. And then at some point you need to add some credits so you can use it. And you have an API key and you create the connection here and you're good to go. And in the end, what happens is that I tell the automation to send myself an email. And for that, I use my Gmail account. If you have something else, then go for something else than Gmail, because the process of connecting Gmail with make.com is a little bit tough. So if you have any other type of email, go ahead. But if you only have Gmail, then you can use it. You can just follow the instruction and connect it. And that's very easy. I say, okay, send it to myself. And the subject is the main idea. I want plain text. I want meeting, title, participant. And then I want short version. I put the result of the short version here. And I want long version here. And for each of the idea, the insight that came out of this module, it will send me an email. Why? Because there is an iteration here. So even though we have only one output, it is split into 3 outputs here, and each of them will be an email. Again, it's only a technical thing. You have the blueprint if you want to dig into it to see how it's being built. Go ahead, but it works without doing that. Here, I didn't want to spend too much time, but I know I will improve this automation, because basically I could split the process and say, okay, just find 3 insights and have 3 different modules thinking only on one post to make it less energy consuming for one call. Basically here I say, okay, here's my long prompt. Here's the transcript. Now create 3 posts. It works fine because it's very powerful. But ideally, if I want better result, I can say, okay, here's the transcript. Give me 3 ideas I can talk about. And then I send the ideas to 3 different modules that will write their own post. And I can even imagine to have a specific prompt that's just review the post that I've been written to make sure it fits to my content style, and so on and so forth. That's the evolution. But for now, it works just fine like that. And in the end, I modify the result in the email. So back to the complete system. At this point, you can stop, because what you have is enough for you to gather the data from every call you have and transform it in a post. So you can just take the post and copy it, open LinkedIn, post it, open Twitter, post it, wherever you want to post it. You don't have to have the next automation. This one is a little bit fancier. It's just saving a little bit of time, but the most important thing is here. Once you have set up those accounts, set up this automation, you are good to go. Every time you will have a meeting, you will have the post generated for you. You can modify them and post them manually. You're good to go. If you want to go a little bit further and go really fancy, then you create this automation now. I told you before, I've created this mail hook, which is the same as a webhook, but the data that it receives is from an email, and it gives you an email address that you can send email to. And that's the email address I would answer. So that's the email that I received, right? And then I would answer it by sendMake. SendMake is the name I gave as the contact of this email address. But basically, you just have to send the answer back to the mail hook email address that you created. Sorry if it's a bit confusing. Now we receive the new posts that have been modified by me or you. And this data is flowing, and then we can, I already explained, this is very straightforward, especially for LinkedIn. It's really well done. It's basically once you have a LinkedIn account, you just, here you will have to go here and add new connection, connect with your LinkedIn account, and you're good to go. Nothing more to do. You do it for both of them, and already you can create posts directly on LinkedIn, but also add an attachment to your email that will be sent, that will be posted as the image of your post, if there is an image. Now it's a little bit more complex with Twitter. So the first thing on Twitter that I've spent a lot of time figuring out is that there are two APIs. So if I go on Twitter, here you have V5 and V6, and V6 is the last one, but you can't upload an image. So with the last one, there is no way to put an image. So you have to use the V5, so you can upload a media and then use the media ID that you have and your the text from your email as the text of the post. And then you can post the final text plus image post. Now, how do you connect to Twitter? You need more than only a Twitter account, unlike LinkedIn. In this case, you need to go on the Twitter developer platform and you create an app. It's not that hard. Just follow the different steps, create an app, and then you will have access to this page, which is keys and tokens. And there you will find all the information that you can use when it is asked here while connecting, when you add your connection here. It's a little bit more complex. That's why I say if you just want the 20% that gives 80% of the outcome, then just stick to this part of the workflow. But if you want to go rogue, then just you can also do this one, which is pretty cool because I think when you have a lot of social media, it's very easy to stay in your email inbox and just say, okay, I'm posting that, send, and boom, it's done everywhere. So that's cool. So that's it for this video. It's a little bit different than the video about marketing that I'm used to do, but I thought it was an interesting system to share. I'm not going to do only automations from now on. Don't worry, I'm still talking about marketing, but this one is a way to actually do marketing for whatever business you have to grow your audience, your personal brand. It's a very interesting tool that is almost free to use and like 10 times your output, the output of your thinking. So I thought it was interesting to share. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment, and I see you in the next video. Bye-bye.